people who seek a meaning are worse off compared to people who already have found the meaning. People who seek the meaning are better off, which gives me, as a sort of, say, scientific philosopher, a problem. I'm a popular philosopher, and I'm also a scientist. And suppose that I know that there is no meaning, but that the goal is to be as happy as possible. What should I do? Should I tell people to keep their illusions, which maximizes happiness? Or should I take their illusions away, which is bringing them to the truth, in my opinion, and which I should do as a scientist? So I have a problem here because of what you just said.
And it's assumed that we have an innate need for meaning. And the concept of need has already mentioned several times. And that gratification of this need results in happiness.
This is about saying that basically if you are healthy, if you have no specific problems or really, then the mind is designed to be content, you're designed to be in a good mood. And the reason for this is because this is in the interest of your genes. And evolution made, I think, not just humans, but also any other animal or mammal anyway, to be in a good mood, because if you are positive to life, optimistic, then you're more likely to be able to go out there and try to make a living. I mean, try to find food and find a mate and so on. If you're in a negative state, you're less likely to do what you're supposed to do for your genes and then pass on your genes. So basically, you try. I mean, humans too has the capacity to be in a good mood as long as everything is fine otherwise.
Now, if you look at life and the outcomes, then you can judge the outcomes of life to the effects on the environment. So you can have a good life if you do good works for the environment, and that's the utility of your life. In some way, you could also say that's the meaning of your life, which is not the same as satisfaction with life. And you can have a very useful life, for instance, an academic producing many books, but because he's also always in his ivory tower, and his wife has left him, he's not very satisfied with his life. And some people are very satisfied. And why are they satisfied? Because they don't do anything. And they have not a very useful life.
What could a useful life possibly be? Think about it. What can a useful life be? And if you think about it, then there are two questions. And the first question is, for whom? For whom should a life be useful? Typically it's for others, or maybe even for people that are not around there yet, for future generations. And the second question that you should address is the question, what makes something actually, in the end, useful? And the final answer on that question is, I think, happiness. That's the ultimate thing that actually counts. It's the only thing that actually, in the end, does count. It's the basis to found everything on, is my personal opinion. So, a useful life is actually maybe in the end useful only because it was a happy life, or it was a life that helped other people to achieve happiness. So in the end, it's always happiness that's the foundation of what's worth, I would personally say.